Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Tuesday. Happy T-Mobile Tuesday. I got my little 10 cents off of my gasoline this morning. Amen to that. All right. So today, I was going to talk about being misled and how that's impossible. But I guess I can tie that into this one. I think I can tie it into this one. So I am going to talk about why I do not trust people. Yes, I do not trust people. I have learned this, and it has helped me so much. It has helped me to create, to lay down a foundation to keep me stable, despite what's going on around me. Despite the people who are in my life, most importantly the people who are in my life, it helps me to become stable or remain stable when these people surround me. So I do not trust people anymore, but there's kind of a twist to that. There's a twist to that, because if someone says, I don't trust people, they're in a dark place. Usually people who say, I don't trust anybody, they're very skeptical. They doubt everything and everybody around them. They oftentimes are angry because they can't depend on other people, and just a whole bunch of things that come along with that. But it is true, I do not trust people, but that doesn't mean that I doubt people. It doesn't mean that sorry, distracted, I'm looking at the traffic behind me. So I don't have this negative sense within me. I'm not condemning people. I'm not thinking everyone is just, out to get me or anything like that. It's because I don't trust people that all these things don't happen to me. This negativity swirling around me, this dark energy swirling around me, this no faith in humanity doesn't surround and swirl within me. So what I mean by I don't trust people is that I don't put trust in people, meaning I won't pick a person, whether it's a family member, a brother, a sister, a father, a mother, a grandparent, your elders. That's a big one. People say you're supposed to trust and respect your elders. I don't do that. Whether it's a friend, it could be your lover, your spouse. It doesn't matter who it is. What's important is that you understand to trust whatever it is that they're presenting, or not trust whatever they're presenting. And if you have a foundation of what truth is, if you have a foundation in truth and you know what that is, whatever anyone presents to you, despite the relationship with you, you'll know whether or not to put trust in that. Because usually what people are presenting is an idea. They're presenting a perception. They're presenting, what is the other one with the P? There's perception, perspective, opinions, ideologies, all these different things people present. And you have to look at that specifically that they're presenting. That's what you have to look at. And you look at it and you ask yourself, mainly if you have a foundation in truth, you ask yourself, is this in alignment with truth? Does this align with truth? Does this align with love? With what they are presenting, is it part of love? Is it love? Not part, but is it love? Is it truth? And answer the question, yes or no. And that will give you the answer you need to either move forward and follow, or not even follow, because we can't really follow people. We just become in alignment with that which they present. So with someone, if you have, I know growing up, it was, growing up as a teenager and as a young adult, I was surrounded by guys who were like, yeah, let's go get some girls, and basically they just wanted to screw them. And then there's girls out there who say, hey, let's go get some guys, and basically they just want to screw them. But that was the basis of what I was surrounded by. And so you have to ask yourself, is this loving? I never thought that was loving. I thought it was using people. At a very young age, I felt like that was using someone. And it just felt wrong. It just felt wrong. No matter what the sex was, it just felt wrong. And so you have to ask yourself. You don't just say, oh, because this is my cousin, or because this is my brother, or my best friend, or whatever, or my dad is teaching me this. It doesn't matter who or what they are to you. What matters is what they're presenting to you. And this is why I don't trust people. I never put all of my eggs in one basket, if you will. So I don't put all my eggs of trust in their basket and just hold it there and let them carry it. I don't do that. What I do is I look at what they're presenting, and then I ask myself, do I want to be in alignment with this? Is this loving? Because if it's loving, sure, that's great. You just presented me with something that maybe I didn't see before. But there's a huge possibility that they're presenting something that's unloving. So there are people who believe that you should do for others before you do for yourself. Okay, well, that's unloving, because it's unloving to not do for yourself first. If you do for yourself first, then and you really need a lot of help or a lot of work, then guess what? You're not going to have time to help other people in this moment. And it's these things that you have to look at. And this is why I say I don't trust people. I don't trust anybody. My sister, my brothers. I don't trust any family member. The only person that I know I can trust, that I put all of my trust in, is the Creator. Because I know the Creator is nothing but love. Absolute love. There's nothing unloving about the Creator. I know that everything that the Creator presents to me, I understand that everything that the Creator has created is created in truth. So there is no need for me to put my trust in someone that I know is fallible. If I understand that man is flawed, why would I put my trust in something or someone who is flawed? Why would I put my trust in an idea that is flawed, an ideal that is flawed, any ideology that is flawed, a religion that is flawed? It doesn't matter. A priest who was flawed, a pastor who was flawed. I put my trust only in the one that I know I can count on, the only one that I know can always be truthful and loving with me, the only one that can be honest with me, and that's the Creator. So this is why I don't trust anybody. And you tell someone this and they'll get offended. You don't trust me? No, bitch, I don't. No. And the thing is, when people get angry with you, it's the only reason why listen, people, the only reason why people get angry when you tell them you don't trust them is because they have zero control. In that moment, they know that all manipulation is null and void. All of it is impossible. You can't do it. There's nothing they could ever say to you, because you're not going to follow them. You're not going to listen to them. And people want to use and manipulate people, even if they don't really call it that themselves. For some people, it's the way of life. I have a family member who is this is just the way she was raised. She only knows how to use people. She only knows how to get things from people by manipulation, by telling stories, by presenting a story to make another person feel sorry for them, and it's like, okay, I need your help for this, or I need money for that, because they're so reckless with theirs. But they don't tell you how reckless they are with their money. They want to keep their finances a secret, but when they have money, they want to spend it on all kinds of bullshit, and then when they don't have money for the things they really need, they want to come crying to you. Now, this is why I say I don't put trust in people, because you will get screwed. You will get screwed. If you have ever been screwed, it's because you put trust in someone when you shouldn't have. You were not able to look at the whole situation. You were not able to look at the whole of what was going on. And this is going to be quite interesting, because these big rigs are not going to let me in, but they're going to let me in like that. Boom, baby, boom. So every time we meet up with people and we listen to their stories, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. You know what? Oh no, it looked like the traffic was backing up, but I think it's the sun. People are blinded by the sun. So you have, what was I saying? Hold up, Zachary. What was I saying? I know I was talking about something. I don't know quite what it was. And there's a popo in front of me. What was I saying? I was saying, okay, when you move a group of people and they tell you these stories, It's important to know the wholeness of what's going on, because if you don't, you'll get caught up. And there's been many times, there's been many times you have been burned by someone. You try to help them. You're like, oh my gosh, my heart goes out to you, let me help you. And then you see them later on and they're in the same position, and you wonder what happened, or you find out they lied to you. It's because, that's what I was going to say. If someone asks you for something, you have every MFing right to ask them the whole story as to what's going on so you can make an informed decision. You have every right to ask someone what's going on, and I want to know the whole story if I'm going to even consider helping you. Because if you can't tell me the truth, that means I can't give you the truth. Just like that. The truth is, there are times when you're supposed to help people, and there are times when you're not supposed to help people. And so you have to ask yourself, is this a time when you should help people?
There's a 5-minute slowdown in 4 miles. You are still on the fastest route.
This is important, people. This is important. This is why when people ask me, well, actually, this is why people don't ask me for anything anymore. And this is what I'm saying. When you live in truth, you are protected by the universe. You don't have to be bothered by the bullshit. You don't have to be bothered by the lies, because the universe is supporting you. So instead of always being in a position where you're always being asked for something, the universe doesn't even approach you anymore. Why? Because you're living in truth. And so the people who know that you're living in truth, and they know that if they know you're going to make an informed decision, and they know that they haven't been doing right, they're not going to ask you. When they know they haven't been doing right by themselves, and they're asking you for something, they won't ask you. Because they already know they're not going to get what they want. They already know that. That's why I said people like to manipulate, but they don't know, or they don't really understand that they're doing it. They know that they're doing it, but they don't call it that. They just say, hey, can you help me? I need help with this. Of course you need help with something, but let's see why you need help with it. Let's try to help you. Let's really try to help you. Let's try to fix it so this doesn't happen. But the thing is, most people are not willing to do that. They don't want to work on themselves. They don't want to change anything that's going on in their life. They want to continue doing what they're doing because they want to continue getting their needs met, meaning their addictions. They want to continue to get their addictions met, and that means how they're currently living their life is currently having their addictions satisfied. And because they're doing that, because they're running away from the true reason why they're suffering, now they want to dip into your pockets, or dip into your time, dip into your I won't even say kindness, but they just want to dip into your energy and try to make things better, because they've gotten themselves in a pickle, and now they can't get out of it because they done messed up making wrong decisions, and now they don't want to look at the consequences of their decisions. So now they want to seek your assistance, which is not help. It's just assisting them in their addictions, maintaining their lie, maintaining their degradation, maintaining their darkness. Hello, this is how it works. This is how it works. This is why people don't mess with me. They don't mess with me. People do not even ask me for advice anymore, because I don't allow them to just dump their crap on me. Those days are long gone. Long gone. I remember, they're like, hey, I'm like, wait, before you get started, is there anything I can do to solve this problem? No. Then I don't need to hear it. You can dump that shit somewhere else, but this is not the sewer tank, buddy. You can move along, just move along. You can find someone else who is weak, someone else who doesn't have a foundation in truth, someone else who's willing to accept your degradation, someone who's willing to accept your problems, someone who is willing to feel the energy that you're feeling, someone who is willing to feel the emotional constraints, the emotional baggage. Hey, find someone else I'm not that cooperative component. Okay, hun? I am not that cooperative component. I'm a cooperative component to something else, which you are not in alignment with. So therefore, we are not a vibration that should even be in the same room at this moment, if that's all you want to do. But if you want to, learn and try to explore how to heal yourself and rectify the problems that are in your life, hey, let's sit down and have a conversation. I can talk for hours. I can help you understand for hours. I can explain things to you for hours. That's one of the things I enjoyed about being a hypnotist, and is because, well, the modality of hypnosis that I was practicing was QHHT, for those of you who don't know. A major part of the session is conversation, getting to know the client, getting to know, you know, their history, their life, the things that's bothering them. And we do this, or I should say, I did this in order to have a better understanding, and so that I can ask the proper questions to what they call the higher self, you know, the spirits on the other side. You know, whether it was, you know, it doesn't matter, because when they're unconscious, they can't speak for themselves, so I would be their voice for them to communicate and get the answers that they wanted answered. But a lot of it was conversation. We talked for hours, sometimes 5 hours, sometimes 6 hours, sometimes 7 hours. We just talked, you know, and they talked and I talked, and there was an understanding. And then we went into the session, you know, and that's what I like doing. That's why I like making these videos, and that's why I can make them so long. 45 minutes is actually really short, because I can talk for a long time, because there's just so much information. There's so much knowledge, there's so much truth, there's so much understanding to be had. Which is why I make these videos, because you never know who's going to come across it. You never know. Someone just may stumble upon something. You know, the universe aligns you, or aligns things up with you to cross your path. You know, the universe, you know, sometimes your spirit guide or guardians will prompt you to look up something, you know, or to accidentally click. You would think it was an accident, but, you know, you're like, oh, this came up. I didn't know, I wasn't looking for this, but it seemed interesting, and wow, I learned a lot from that. Or wow, I understand this. Wow, this is something that I was having a question about, and I didn't really have much of an answer, and it was presented to me. You just never know. So what I like to do is be in alignment with the universe, be a cooperative component to the universe, and just be there for the universe to use my energy for whatever it needs to use it for. You know, sometimes, you know, my videos will be used to show someone that they're an angry person. Trust me, I get people who watch my videos and they're very angry. What you're saying, rah, 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 just so that they can see something in themselves, their reaction to something, the reaction to truth, the reaction to the truth of who they are. You know, I just like to be a cooperative component. I don't want to be anything else but a cooperative component to the universe, and its mandate, whatever, you know, it has to be for certain people. It's always using people to expose something, to expose truth. That's what the universe is doing every day, exposing truth. Truth of the love that you have, truth of the hate that you have, truth of the pain you have, truth of the suffering you're experiencing. That's all the universe is doing every day. You can't even escape it. The truth that someone is living in facade, the truth that someone is lying. Ooh, I love this fog. It's like, wow. It's not even thick, but I like it. So, you know, like I said, the universe is, you know, using us to expose that which dwells within us. But anyway, back to trusting people or not trusting people. Once you have a strong foundation in truth, there's no need to trust anyone, because you're solid in who you are. And you can listen to people, you can listen to opinions and ideals and ideas and ideologies and all kinds of perspectives and perceptions that people have. And you're not shook, because your foundation is strong. You know that your trust is only in one. For me, you may trust a parent. Your parent may be a parent that doesn't mislead you and is very open and honest with you. And so that may be the person you trust, but at some point, that person will fail you, because even though you trust the things that they're saying, that doesn't mean that they don't have flaws. And as they continue living and having flaws, you absorb whatever information that they're giving you based on those flaws that they don't even know is present. This is why it's so important not to trust people, to either trust what they're saying or not trust what they're saying. But it must always be something that is discerned. You must use discernment in order to know if you're on the right course or not. Because if you use discernment and you have, say, an elder or a parent, and you know better, there's a possibility that you, being a young person, can teach the older person something. It's not the way that man has created it to be. You don't always listen to your elders. You listen to people all around you, whether they're young or old, and you say to yourself, you know, or you match it up to truth, and you say, hey, you know what, this, I can see what you're saying, but this is where things get kind of sticky. Let me point this out. And you give them the opportunity. You give them the opportunity. It's not always the elders giving you the opportunity, but at the same time, yes, the elder is giving you the opportunity. The elder is giving you an opportunity to voice truth, to make it known. Anybody who comes to you sideways, anybody who comes to you with wrong information is giving you an opportunity to correct it. And if you are a person of love, and if you are a person of truth, and you have integrity, you'll seize every opportunity you can to do that. And it doesn't matter if they acknowledge you or not. It doesn't matter if they believe you or not. That's not what's important. What's important is that you stay strong, you maintain your integrity, and keep it pushing. That's it. You put it out there and you keep it going. And it, like I said, it doesn't matter if anybody believes you or not, or trusts you or not. That's not important. I don't care if people trust me or not. What I do care about is the information that I put out there. What I do care about is the truth that I put out there. That is what is important to me, because that's the only thing that's important. God can back that up, because everything that God has created is truth. Nothing more than that, nothing less than that. All truth. There's nothing more, nothing less than truth. That's all that there is. Everything else is man's creation. And this is what I'm saying. Like, we have to be careful of man's creation, because man's creation says, hey, we don't, because we've gotten so far away from the creator, we create our own gods. We become our own gods. And, you know, I know these Egyptians, look, you know, it's funny because blacks will be like, yeah, we were Egyptians, and, you know, we knew a lot of information, and, you know, all kinds of stuff about Egyptians, and oh, gods, you know, we are gods, we are kings and queens and gods. And I'm like, well, if that's what you were thinking, and they used to hate when I said this, but if that was really true, how did the Egyptians end up where they ended up? Well, now there's only relics out there. There's only, you know, leftovers of what they had created, of this great city that they had. It's all gone. So if that was their belief, if they believed themselves to be kings and queens and gods, mainly gods, why did everything crumble? Why did they lose everything? I'll tell you why. Because they thought themselves to be gods, which is what Adam and Eve, or Amon and Amen, thought. They thought they were gods at one point, because they were so much more powerful than anything we can really imagine. They thought they didn't need God's help. All right? So that was a flaw that they created in their mind somewhere. That was an idea that they had. Well, they screwed up that one, and screwed up the rest of humanity right along with it. And so, just as they have screwed up humanity with their fall, we continually screw up humanity because we are flawed. We are the fallen. We are products of the fallen. You people want to talk about Satan being a fallen angel. We're once perfect in every single way, just as this story of Satan being perfect and not flawed. We were perfect, for not as in terms of angels, so we didn't have divine love, but we did have a state, or we did have this state of perfection that is perfect for the human soul. Yeah, absolutely. At one point that was had, but it's not had anymore. It's not something that is present on earth anymore, but that doesn't mean that we can't get back to it. But I can tell you that we'll never get back to it if people don't start using discernment in terms of what they're being presented. All information must be looked at with a magnifying glass. You must look at it with truth. Hold it up to truth. You know, side by side. Is this love? No. Then I can't buy it. Is this truth? No. Then I can't buy it. It's really that simple. People say things all the time, and I'm just looking at it. I'm like, okay, well, it's flawed. You know, and I can tell if they don't want to hear it, so I don't tell it to them. It's not my place to make someone try to understand. That's unloving. if I try to make someone understand, is that in alignment with love? Nope. So I have to do something that's in love. What's truth? What is the truth of that? Letting someone use their free will to believe whatever they want to believe. I don't have the power to change that, and God has the power to change it and won't change it. God will never take away anybody's free will, so who am I to think I can come running through here like a bull in a china shop, you know, making people try to understand. What? That's unloving. That's unloving. This is why I say, you know what, mind your own business, you know, put the truth out there, not directly to people, but just put it out there and allow people to find it. You know, it's like this, you know, if you want to feed someone, you put a meal there on the thing and say free meal. And the person who needs to come up and get it will get it. The person who doesn't won't. It's that simple. It is that simple. You can help people, just put it out there. Put a little sticky on it, you know, say free meal. Hope you have a great day. You know, this is for a homeless person. And the person who is led to it will get it. Because the universe, it doesn't make any mistakes. It doesn't make any mistakes at all. So everything is relevant that the universe does. Everything that we experience is relevant. We just have to know how to decode it. How to decode the things that are happening. This weather is so amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this is really helping with the trees, the plants, because everything's so dry. So we needed this moisture. Yes, we did. Helping with the fires. Yes, yes. Put some dew on it, baby. Put some dew on it. If only we can have this in the valley where all the fires are at. Anyway, so yeah, just, you know, be mindful of this whole trust thing. You don't have to. You can trust your friends if you want to. This is I was at the gas station, I think earlier in the week. No, last week. I was at the gas station last week. And there were these two guys, and they were young, in their 20s, and they obviously were in some type of accident. And their bumper head was all off. It was gone. And part of the hood was, and it must have recently happened. And because when they were in the gas station, they were kind of like checking out the bumper and everything, and they were laughing. And I was like, dude, like, you have no idea. I was, you know, to the driver, I'm saying to myself, dude, you have no idea that your friend is not your friend at all. Like, you were in a car accident, and he thinks it's funny. And the only reason why he thinks it's funny is because it's not his car. His car isn't all banged up. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I may not be able to get in here with the fog because people are they're so afraid. They're so afraid. I don't mind going around. It's all right. It's okay for me to go around or to just swoop right on in here like that. Ha! You know, yeah, I was just looking, I was like, he's not even your friend and you don't even know it, but you guys are cooperative components. Like, your degraded self, you know, I'm talking about the guy who owns the car. Your degraded self can't do anything better than what you're doing right now. You can't get any better friends than you have right now. You can't have someone who is loving because you don't love yourself. How would you, I mean, really think about it. Do you think loving yourself is having a relationship with someone who doesn't care about you or your property? You know, I have this issue with someone who kind of likes me and wants to get married and do all this stuff, and I'm thinking, but I would be a complete idiot if I went along with it. You know, it's like, okay, I've been single for a while, but I gotta be a complete moron to know what I know and still do that? I don't think so. I don't think so. No. 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 You know, it would be nice to be in a relationship, but Jesus, I mean, what do I have to do in order to have that? Well, I have to suffer. Because I haven't been presented with someone who can't value who I am. So what does that mean? That means there's a lack of value for myself that I have for myself. And I know this stuff comes from from stuff when I was a kid, because it is not coming from the stuff that is happening now, because my view, my perspective, my knowing, my understanding is different. But it's not, I haven't yet released the things that I need to release in order for my true desires to come to manifest, to come to fruition. So here I'm getting presented with people who don't want to do anything with their lives. They want to depend on me for every single thing, financial, emotional support. I'm like, but what am I getting? If I got someone who's broken, what the hell do I get? You know what I'm saying? It's like buying a used car that's broke down. It's like, okay, I can put all this love and energy, which is not love and energy at all, because it's just I'm putting all this effort, all this energy in this raggedy ass car that I have to fix every 2 months because something's going wrong with it. And I have to ask myself, you know, what am I getting out of this? Nothing but a bunch of heartache. Nothing but a bunch of, you know, stress and worries. Like, am I going to be able to make it to work on time? You know, I had thought that that even happened with my old car. I had a Maxima. I bought it, you know, it was new, it was working. But then it started to break down and I refused to buy one. Refused to buy a new one. I was like, I don't want the car payment. I don't want the car payment. So I went through a transmission, through another transmission, through another engine, through another engine. It's like, I could have been halfway paid off with the new car. I didn't have to struggle. My car, you know, I didn't have to go through all this, you know, this bitch is overheating, you know, there's a couple of times it had me stranded on the side of the freeway, you know, and it's like, I didn't have to go through all of that. I could have easily just went and got a new car and paid the payment, but I didn't want to pay the payment, so I paid a different price. Since I didn't want to pay the money, I had to pay through my emotions. I had to pay through my feelings. I had to pay through being frustrated all the time, to not feeling supported, to feeling like having worry all the time. And this is what we do all the time, every day, all day. We make choices. We make choices. And then finally the damn thing broke and I said, you know, that's it. I'm not doing it anymore. And I went and bought a new car. And I didn't have any problems. It was like every day I was going to work. I knew I was going to get there and it felt nice getting there. You know, this is what I'm saying. Like, we make choices, but we have to understand the choices that we're making. You know, am I putting trust in my car? I couldn't even put trust in my car because that thing was failing me all the time, right? So, you know, I had to, you know, look at what was going on and ask oh no, this don't look good. I know this don't look good. This looks awful. I can't. This looks awful. Oh, this is awful. Yeah, I can't. I'm not. I won't. No, sir. This is crazy traffic. Anyway, no. I was gonna do, no, don't do it, Bradley. Don't do it. Don't do it. So, anyway, you know, I had to look at what was going on and ask myself, can I put trust in this? No. What is it giving me? You know, look at what it was giving me. Look at what people are giving you. Look at what the car was giving me. What are the results? You know, you can put energy into something, but are you getting something in return? And that's how you know, that's a really easy way to know if you're on the right path or not. If you're putting energy into something and it's not working, there's a problem. There's a reason why it's not working. And it's up to you to find out why you're putting energy into something, but what you're getting in return is pain and suffering. Sometimes you put energy into relationships, and all you get is pain and suffering in return. Disappointment, heartache. That's what you're getting. And so that should be a sign for you to stop. And as I say this out loud, I am thinking of some things that I need to put a halt to, because it's not working. I have to stop looking at what other people want, and I have to stop looking at what I want in terms of expecting that person to give it, because if that person is not able to give it, they're not able to give it. That's just the bottom line. You know, these young people sometimes they do get on my nerves because they do this stupid shit where they just want to mosey on across the street at a leisurely pace, like nobody else has, to get to where they gotta go. It's like, look, there's a bunch of cars waiting. You just la la la, la la. Okay, so I need to go. This one always confuses me. So I need the 110. So I guess I'm going over here. Yeah, they just leave like nobody else is around. Of course, that's my law of attraction, which is why I went to that intersection at that time when someone wants to walk around at a leisurely snail's pace. But anyway, look at what you're putting energy into and see what you're getting back. Just like this, like that irritated me. So I'm putting energy into something, a feeling, an emotion, right? And what am I getting? Chaos within my soul. I'm getting frustration within my soul. It's swirling around within me. It's causing my body to be tense. It's causing all kinds of things. And yes, I'm honking my horn today, baby. We all gonna get on the same page today. If my horn has to be part of it, it has to be part of it. It is too crazy to be on the phones this morning with all this traffic. I don't know, folks be tripping. I don't know why there's so. Well, yeah, I know why there's a lot of traffic. Because people get scared when there's weather, any kind of weather. It doesn't even matter if there's just clouds out there. They just get all cray-cray about it. Can I? No. Yes, we can. Si se puede. As Barack Obama, si se puede. Si se puede. Si se puede. Oh my gosh, how funny. Anyway, so yeah, trust. Put your trust in no one but the only one, and you'll be all right. But you have to be comfortable with telling people no. You have to be comfortable with saying, hey, I'm sorry, I can't follow that. What you're saying, but why? I just said I can't follow. That's all you need to know. And when they start questioning you, that's even another sign, a deeper sign, a more heavy sign for you to walk your tail on somewhere else. Because they're telling you they're not accepting no for an answer, which means they're not respecting your answer, which means you need to go somewhere else. Find yourself a different friend. Heck, find yourself a different family member if you need to. You don't stand around for that. Souls, especially families aren't something that you're obligated to be around. Once you're an adult, hit the road, Jack, and don't come back. If they're having change, stay away. Build a positive, happy life for yourself. That's what I did. I just left my family alone. Some of them, they just on some other shit. I don't know what it is. I know what it is, but I don't need to know what it is. I already know what it is. Like, I don't need to know the details because I know the general idea. I have a general idea, as a general understanding as to what's going on. They got a lot of stuff going on with their soul. They don't know about it, and they don't want to find out about it. They want to know what they know, and that's all they want to know. So there's no changing for them. So let them be. 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 Just let them be. I know it's Let It Be, but I made my own song. Thank you very much. So anyway, that is that. So I don't know. Maybe you can learn something from it. Maybe not. It's not a bad thing if you don't. You'll just continue experiencing the same things that you don't want to experience. That's all. That's all lack of change gives you, is the same old thing that you've been experiencing. So if you've been wanting to change your life, but you're not willing to change your life, don't expect your life to change. Expect it to stay exactly the same. Boom, boom, boom. If you have an understanding, or I should say, whatever understanding you have is the understanding that is going to continue giving you what has been given to you. Meaning, whatever you've been experiencing.
There's a disabled vehicle ahead.
Whatever you've been experiencing is based on your understanding, and that's what you need to change. But most people aren't willing to change it. They think they know what they know, and they do know what they know. They know what they know, but no more than that. No more, no less. They know what they know. They just don't know that all that they know is creating their reality, creating their experience. That's it. You know, if you think you're supposed to you're in a bad relationship and you're supposed to stick together and work it out, then stick together and work it out. But you're just going to be experiencing the same crap that you've been experiencing. I was watching I think it was Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I had talked about it before. You know, Portia, this girl, she, you know, didn't want to listen to anybody about the man she was dating. Now she ended up pregnant. He's not around, and while she was pregnant, he was sleeping with somebody else, which is exactly what these girls or her friends were telling her. But she didn't want to listen. She didn't want to listen, and now she's stuck, and now she's saying, "Oh my God, like he was cheating on me." I'm like, isn't that what they were telling you in the beginning? You didn't want to listen to anybody. You don't want to listen. You didn't want to change your ways, and now you're stuck like Chuck. You're stuck like Chuck. Now you a single mother, you know, and he took it, and he took his engagement ring back. Oh my gosh! Yes. Took it back. He asked for it back. She said, "Here you go," because she, you know, it's like, you know, that's what I'm saying. You know, your decisions will continue to give you the experiences that you've been experiencing before. So she thought it was hard. She was looking for love, and guess what? Now she's still looking for love because she didn't find it. She thought she had it, but she can't have it. This woman cannot have love because if you ever watch her, there's no love within her. There's no love within her. She's an angry, miserable, conniving, manipulative person. And guess who she ran into? A lying, sneaky, manipulative person who used her just like he used all the other women that they were trying to warn her about. You know, it's like, hey, this girl. And she's like, oh, I don't care. He has my name tattooed on his body. Okay. All right. But so do all the other women have their name tattooed on his body. Well, you know different. You know different. One of them said, you ain't no different than the rest of the hoes. Because that's who he's attracting. And you know, who wants to look at themselves as a hoe? Nobody wants to look at themselves as a hoe. But when you look at her, it's like, oh, I remember, you know, when, you know, she got pregnant. She did that on purpose. He didn't want a baby. If you can Google Portia Williams announcing her pregnancy to her boyfriend, you look at his face, it's like, are you serious? He didn't want that. But she wanted it, which is why she did it. She did it on purpose because she's always wanted to have a baby. She wanted to have a baby and a husband, so she made sure she was getting a baby and a husband. The only problem is he did pull out when he was supposed to, and he pulled out at the end but when it came to the marriage. And now she's stuck like Chuck. She's husbandless with the child she has to raise on her own. That's it. That's what I'm saying. You know, you can't escape your soul condition, which is why I don't get involved, because I know my soul condition. I know what's left in there. I know some things are in there. I may not know exactly, but I know exactly because I know my experiences. I know what I'm lacking, and I know what I get when I do try. Even when I look at my past, I'm like, okay, I tried it. This is what I got from this relationship. I tried it. This is what I got from that relationship. I tried it, and this is what I got from that relationship. I only had 3, and I was like, okay, I'm good. There's some stuff I got to work on, and because I don't seem to be getting what I truly desire. I'm getting what's dwelling within my soul. But I didn't know that back then. I just knew that I didn't want to be bothered with that bullshit anymore. So I just stopped. So I've been single for a long time, and I'm quite okay with that. But I can say that the quality of people that I'm running into is slightly changing. It's not as degraded, and I can see exactly who people are, because people will come, if you have it within your soul, they're going to come at you. They're attracted to you because you're in a similar vibration, you know? So these people are going to come to you. If you have pain from being misled and used, then guess what? You're going to continue attracting people who are going to want to mislead you and abuse you. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So, you know, it's like, this man's, I'm not angry today because I, you know, have a better understanding from my last experience with him, you know. But, he's just, you know, that's, like I said, that's his life that he's creating for himself, and I have to be okay with it. I just choose not to be a part of it. And that's what I mean in terms of, you know, all this trusting stuff. You know, you can look at people and know that they're misleading you, and you have a choice. You know, do you want to be involved in it or not? You know, if you're with a person, if you're with a person who constantly lies to you, manipulates you, uses you, abuses you, well, hey, you know, you have a choice. You can leave. And, you know, this whole thing about, well, I have kids, there's a family. First of all, no, there is no family, because that is not what a family represents. A family doesn't represent lies, deceit, being used, misled, abused. That's not what a family is. So if these things are happening, then you don't have a family. You're basically living with a total stranger that you had kids with. So you can take your kids somewhere else and live your life and build a better one. Build one that is more conducive to something you want to experience, you know? That doesn't mean you have to jump in, you know, bed with someone else. But what about being by yourself and being happy? Until you can figure out what's within you that's attracting these type of people into your life. Because that's what I've done. I've taken a huge break from relationships so that I can find out what's going on. You know, and every day I'm learning something new. If I'm learning something new about other people, then I'm learning something new about myself. You hear me? If I'm learning something new about other people, I'm learning something new about myself. That's how it works. If you learn something new about someone else, you've learned something new about yourself. This is why I like listening to people, because sometimes what I can't see in myself, I can see in other people. And if I see something, I'm like, and I recognize it because I listen to them, I'm like, oh, wow, I used to do that, or I do that, or this is what this looks like when I do it to people. When I'm sarcastic, this is what it looks like, and this is what it feels like. Huh. When I'm used and abused, this is what it looks like. This is what it feels like. It's like sometimes we forget the pain that we experience, but we can see it in someone else. But if we can see it in someone else and say, wow, I've been through the same thing, and I can see what you're saying, and I can see how I felt a long time ago, but I can see how I feel differently now, that's good. That's a come up for you, because now you have a better understanding of yourself, because you had a desire to understand other people. You just had a simple desire to understand. That's how it works. That's how it works. This is how we do it. All right, people. All right. I just want to say, have a wonderful Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week if I don't chat with you before the week is up. And that's it. So have a great one, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye now.